Welcome to the XpressCall product tour. This covers many of the features of XpressCall, including administration of groups, individuals and devices, managing rosters and shifts, configuring machine-to-machine call-out initiation, manually initiating and reviewing call-outs, and system reporting. XpressCall differs from emergency call in that not only can call-outs be triggered by an individual, they can also be initiated via a set of predetermined parameters within the XpressCall software directly from another system. This machine-to-machine initiation might be triggered by an alert from your network management system regarding IT events and issues, or any other automated system capable of generating recognizable alerts, e.g. SCADA, SNMP, ERP, building management, and all other major operational systems. This means that XpressCall can uniquely act as your common, resilient, and secure messaging and operational escalation platform for systems across your enterprise and around the world. The XpressCall system is accessed via a web browser using the correct company ID, user ID, and password at the login page. This process is 128-bit encrypted for security. You will have a choice of system functional areas to access, including administration, call-out, and reporting functions. You will first be greeted by the welcome screen. Clicking OK brings you to the functional area you have previously chosen. Let's look first at how you would use the administration section to manage your data. Organization Overview. This summary screen is the first screen you will be greeted with in the administration section. It gives you easy access to the main data areas of recipients, their default locations, and the groups that they belong to via the tabs shown across the top of the pop-up window. Clicking on a single record within the window highlights it, ready for the Add, Delete, Edit, View functions to the right. The recipient screen contains a list of all the recipients on the system. The details for any of these recipients can be both viewed and modified. The administrator has the ability to add new recipients onto the system and to remove recipients from the system where necessary by using the relevant range of grey buttons to the right-hand side of the window. Database navigation. You can search for an individual recipient stored in the system database in 3 ways. Navigate. By highlighting the Navigate button, you can scroll through the entire recipient database. Up to 500 recipients are given within each navigation screen. Search by surname. By highlighting the By Surname button, you can search the entire recipient database by surname. Search by User ID. By highlighting the By User ID button, you can search the entire recipient database by user ID. Adding a new recipient. Clicking on the Add Recipient button will open the following window, where you can add a new user onto the system and set the recipient parameters. PIN number. The PIN number is the number the recipient will be asked for when contacted as part of a call-out, if these are in use on the customer's system. Recipients will typically enter their PIN number before a call-out message can be played. This number must be numeric so that it can be entered on a telephone keypad. Web Access Password. The Web Access Password is a password the user will be asked for when attempting to log onto the XpressCall system via the Internet. Site. The site at which a recipient is located can be changed in this field. Language. The XpressCall system may be configured so that outgoing voice messages are given in languages other than English. If your system has different language options, you can set them for the new recipient using the language drop-down menu. Role. The role of the recipient can be changed in this field. This is not a free text field. If your XpressCall system is configured to offer different role options, these can be chosen by using the Role drop-down menu. Security Group. The Security Group setting is where you configure the level of responsibility the user will be permitted regarding the use of both the call-out and administration functions. The Security Group options available within your system can be viewed by using the drop-down menu. Adding a new recipient to the database. Once you are happy with the parameters, you can add new recipients to the database by clicking on the Add button. Editing, deleting, and viewing current recipients can be done in the same way, using the relevant grey buttons. Adding a recipient's devices. For each recipient, relevant contact details can be listed. To access this area, either click on the grey box at the bottom right of the screen or double-click on the recipient's record. This is an example of the contact device details that you may see for a given individual. If no contact devices currently exist for the recipient, then the device window would have no entries listed. Various device types can be created, including email, fax, pager, SMS, text, phone, PDA, GPS, LBS device, and mobile devices. Here is an example of how easy it is to create a phone device for a recipient. SMS, pager, and email devices are also added via this screen in the same manner as shown here. Add phone device. This option is used for creating either a telephone landline or mobile device. To create a new phone device in the recipient's profile, click on the Add Device button and you will be presented with the following screen. Device types available within the system can be viewed by using the drop-down menu. After selecting Phone and clicking the Add Device button, you will be presented with the following Device Parameters screen. These parameters are specific to the phone device type. Setting the desired start and end dates and defining device timeframes will determine the times and dates each device is to be included in or excluded from callouts. Once all of the relevant details have been entered, clicking on the Add button will make the specified phone device available for use during a callout. You will then be returned to the main window, from where you can either edit the details of an existing device or continue adding additional contact devices to the user's profile. Contact device sequence. The contact device sequence defines the order or sequence in which the contact devices will be called during a callout. A device with a sequence setting of 1 will be used before a device with a sequence setting of 2, and so on. The device sequence is shown in the far left-hand column of the recipient's contact device list. You can change the sequence in which the user's devices are called. This is achieved by clicking on the relevant sequence number and then manually changing by overtyping to reflect the required order. The sequence chosen should reflect either company policy or recipient preference. Users can manage themselves. It is possible to enable a recipient to access the XpressCall system directly themselves via a web browser and only manage their own details, including contact devices. They will not be able to initiate a callout or perform any further administration functions or view the reporting suite. On logging onto the system, a recipient at this level will see a screen showing only their own details. They can carry out the administrative functions in the same way, but only on their own details. Use of the system is intuitive, making it easy for recipients to keep their own details up to date. This is a major advantage of the XpressCall system. Group administration. To undertake administration for groups of recipients, click on the Groups tab at the top of the navigation area found between the tabs for recipients and sites. It is possible to be a member of multiple groups and yet only be treated as a single recipient in terms of a callout to save them receiving the same message over and over again. Adding a new group. Clicking on the Add Group button will open the following window where you can add a new group onto the system and set the group parameters. Group ID. Every group on the system has a unique identifier, the group ID. As such, a unique group ID must be chosen for each new group. Contact method. The contact method should be set to broadcast. This means that the system will use all of its available resources in an attempt to contact every member of the group as quickly as possible. call order. The call order is the order that the system will call the various members of the group. The call order can be set at either sequence or random. If sequence is selected, then the system will make contact with each of the group members using the sequence specified when creating the group. If random is selected, then the system will make contact with each of the group members in a random order. Group type. These three menu options, Standard, Daily, and Roster, denote whether group members are always on call, change on a daily basis, or are on a predetermined rotating roster. Group name, group description. The group name is the name by which the group will be described within the system. This is a free text field. Any group name can be chosen using either numbers or letters. Once you are happy with the group parameters that you have chosen, you can add the new group to the system by clicking on the Add button. Editing and deleting groups can be carried out in a similar way. Now let's look at what you can do with members of groups. Group administration. Group members. Within this part of XpressCall, members can be added to a new group or existing group and/or edited within an existing group. In addition, subgroups can be added to the main group. To access this functionality, you must first highlight the group you wish to use within the group navigation page. Then clicking on the Members button will open the Group Members screen, displaying the members, if any, currently associated with a selected group. Where there are multiple group members, you can navigate through them using the Navigate or Search functions. Adding a group member. To add a new member to a group, click on the Add Member button. You will be presented with the following screen, which will allow you to search the database for the recipient you wish to add to the group. You can only add a new member to a group that already exists as a recipient within the system database. If the recipient you require does not exist, you will first have to add them into the database. Once you have specified the membership start and end date and any required delay, to add the recipient to the group, click on the Add button. The recipient will be shown as a new member on the group member list. Editing group members may be carried out in a similar way. Changing group member sequence. The group member sequence defines the sequence in which members of a group will be called if the group call order is set to sequence. The current group sequence is shown on the left-hand column of the group members screen. The sequence of members can be changed. This is achieved by clicking on the relevant sequence number and then manually changing to reflect the required order within this group. Subgroups. Any subgroups associated with the group can be viewed and/or added by clicking on the Subgroups tab on the Group Members screen. Adding a new subgroup. Any groups that exist on the system may be included as a subgroup to any other group. Clicking on the Add Subgroup button will present a list of all the groups held within the system. Group Administration Daily. A daily group type allows users to specify who will be on call for a group on specified days. Selecting a daily group and clicking on Configure Group will bring up a calendar. From here, you can navigate to the year and month you wish to view or edit. The calendar shows days with full 24-hour coverage, shown in green, partial coverage, yellow, and no coverage, red. To add coverage to a specific day, first switch to Edit mode by clicking the Edit button. Clicking on any day of the month will then take you to Daily View, where you can see who is on call on that day. Clicking Create Shift will bring up the Add Shift dialog box, which allows you to select multiple shift dates, set shift times, and add or delete shift members. Other parameters you have control over include delay. Time delay in minutes from call-out initiation and recipient sequence can also be set. Once daily shifts are determined, you can edit or duplicate shifts within these same screens. Any shift additions or changes will then be represented in the daily, weekly, and monthly calendar views. Group Administration Roster. A roster group is a group whose members change on a regular, predictable, rotating basis. These shifts can be set to any number of days, and any number of shifts can be configured. Once the cycle completes, Shift 1 is resumed. Selecting a roster group and clicking Configure Group will bring up the Coverage Overview screen. As you can see, this group currently has no coverage. Clicking Add Coverage brings up a dialog box that allows you to designate a name to the group coverage, set the start and end dates. As you can see, the end date can also be left open, and set the length of each shift and how many shifts will be on rotation. This example of 3 shifts each, lasting 4 days, will provide coverage for 12 days before Shift 1 is redeployed. Once the parameters have been set, clicking the Configure Shifts button will open the Shift Details window, where we can see that no shifts have yet been set up within this coverage set. Click Create Shift to bring up the Add Shift screen. Here we add John Smith to Shift 1, days 1 to 4 for the full 24 hours, and Kelly Ellens to Shift 2, days 1 to 4 from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. We choose not to add anyone for Shift 3 at this stage. Any shift additions or changes will then be represented in the calendar views. Templates. Roster group type. The Templates option is used for creating shifts that an administrator is likely to want to use again and again in the future. Both daily and roster group types have a facility to pre-configure templates. This example shows a template being set up for a roster group. Setting up a daily group type template follows the same logic as this, but with the specific daily group type parameters. As you can see, setting up a roster group type template is identical to setting up coverage. The only difference is the absence of start and finish date parameters. Now that we have a template set up within this group, adding coverage is very quick and easy. This is where we add dates to the template and make it active in the coverage calendar. You can also have the option to alter the membership of the coverage. System Overview. Time Zones. If your organization has operations in more than one time zone, XpressCall will automatically run each business unit, division, or company within its relevant time zone. In the System Overview screen, click Add to set up a company. The Add Organization window lets you define the company name, company ID, time zone, and notes. All sites, groups, and individual recipients added within this company will operate under the time zone selected here. Furthermore, any group roster settings and recipient device timeframes, as well as start and end dates, will fall under this time zone. This time zone will also be the basis for the times displayed for initiations and call history in the reporting and incident review sections of XpressCall. Call-out initiation. Machine to machine. XpressCall allows callouts to be initiated automatically via either SOAP or Perl APIs, firing a valid XML file to our servers. Various pre-configured callouts can be triggered via the API interface in response to a set of predetermined incident scenarios. The next screen will demonstrate the functionality of this machine-to-machine callout process. When your network management or other incident generating system recognizes that an incident has occurred, it communicates with either a SOAP or Perl API, Application Program Interface. The API, in this case a Perl API, will then fire a valid XML file into the XpressCall web server via a secure internet connection. This server then communicates the parameters of the callout to the XpressCall application servers. Based on the specific requirements of the callout in progress, the application server then queries the SQL database for data, including callout groups, individual recipients, appropriate recipient devices, rosters, and timetables. This information is passed back to the application servers, which then trigger the callout via the communications engine. In this case, this callout is a voice call to a regular telephone. Other recipient devices, as we saw in XpressCall administration, include SMS text, pager, and email. Manual initiation. If required, XpressCall can also be configured to allow users to initiate callouts manually via a variety of ways, including regular internet browser, BlackBerry, PDA, smartphone, and telephone. Having logged into XpressCall and selected the callout option, users will be presented with the following screen. The Review Incident button allows users to view current and past incident callouts. We'll have a look at that later. Choosing Initiate a Callout will open a dialog box with two options. Selecting XpressCall Test will allow manual tests of the machine-to-machine system to be carried out. Selecting Manual Callout takes a user through to the Manual Callout section of XpressCall, where the various callout types can be selected from a drop-down menu. The callout types available depend on the configuration of your system and may differ from those shown here. Choose the callout type you require by clicking on it. Once a callout type has been selected, clicking on the OK button will launch the Incident Parameters screen, where you can select the relevant details relating to the current incident. Setting incident parameters. Depending on the incident type selected and the specific configuration of the system, once the OK button on the incident selection screen has been pressed, different incident parameters will be shown. A sample parameter screen is shown here. Each parameter can be changed by using the relevant drop-down menu. Create a recording. Your XpressCall system may be configured to enable the user to record a unique message. Where available, this option is chosen from the callout type screen. Once the OK button has been clicked, you will be presented with this Create a Recording parameter screen. To create a recording, you would telephone the unique number which is shown on your specific implementation of the system and follow the instructions given. The number shown here is for example purposes only. Once a message has been recorded, clicking on the Next button will take you to the main Add Recipient screen. Send an SMS, pager, email. Your XpressCall system will typically be configured to enable the user to send a unique SMS, pager, or email message. Where available, this option is also chosen from the callout type screen, as shown here. Once the Next button has been clicked, you will be presented with the Send SMS, Email parameter screen. If your system is configured to be able to choose between SMS, pager, or email, you can choose the contact type by using the Contact Type drop-down menu. You can then type your required message within the free text bar. SMS and pager character limits are set at 80 as standard to allow space for header and footer message elements. Email character limits are set at 300. Once all of the relevant parameters have been selected, clicking on the Next button will take you to the main Add Recipient screen. Adding groups and individual recipients. Having selected the callout parameters, you will be presented with the Add Recipient screen, which allows individual recipients and/or predefined system groups of recipients to be added to the callout. If the individual belongs to any associated groups, these will be highlighted in the panel below the group table. To add the recipient to the callout, simply double-click on their highlighted name or click on the Add button at the bottom of the screen. Multiple recipients can be added by highlighting multiple names using the Shift key operation on your keyboard. Click on the OK button to add all highlighted names. As each recipient is added to the callout, their name will appear in the recipients list on the right of the Add Recipients screen. Adding groups. Predefined groups of recipients can be added to the callout by clicking on the Add Group button. On clicking the Add Group button, you will be presented with the group navigation window listing all of the pre-configured groups stored on the system. If the group has any associated subgroups, these will be highlighted in the panel below the group table. In order to add a group or subgroup to the callout list, simply highlight the group or subgroup name and then double-click on the name or click the Add Group, Add Subgroups buttons. The relevant group name will appear in the recipients list in the same way as for individuals. Clicking the Remove button will delete the highlighted recipient or group from the recipients list, and they will therefore not receive a call when the callout is initiated. Initiating the callout. Once you have completed the callout recipient list, you should click on the Next button in the bottom right of the screen. This will take you to the Incident Confirmation screen from which you can initiate the callout. Before you initiate the call, you have a final opportunity to confirm that all of the incident parameters and recipients you have chosen are correct. If any parameters are still incorrect, you may return to the Incident Parameters screen and modify them by clicking on the Change Parameters button. Alternatively, if any of the recipients are incorrect, you can return to the Add and Remove Recipients screen by pressing the Change Recipients button. Once you are confident that all of the callout data is correct, you should select the type of callout you want to initiate, test or real emergency, by highlighting the relevant tick box. Having selected Test or Real Emergency, the call can be initiated by clicking the Initiate Callout button. You will be presented with the following pop-up screen, giving you the option to either close the window or to review the incident in real time while it is happening. Reviewing a callout. SMS. If you want to review the callout and progress of calls in real time, once you have initiated the call, click on the Review Incident button, which will launch the callout status screen. As the callout progresses, you will see the system making contact with each user. This data is displayed in the left-hand panel of the window screen, Contact List. As users acknowledge receipt of the message, they are moved over to the top right-hand panel of the window, Successes. If the system is unable to contact a user for whatever reason, they will be moved to the bottom right-hand panel of the window, Failed to Contact. Further information regarding the contact history for each recipient can be obtained by double-clicking on the recipient name. The contact history will be displayed in its own window as illustrated here. When reviewing a voice callout, the information that can be reviewed on screen is more comprehensive. The animated sequence shows a typical example of what can be tracked in near real time.
Hello, Walter Robinson.
This is a disaster recovery emergency call. Please enter your PIN code to confirm your identity. There has been an applications failure on January 1, 2005 at 1300. Please report to Central Control as soon as possible. To respond, press 1. To repeat the message, press 9. Please enter your estimated time of arrival in 24-hour format, followed by the hash key. Your estimated time of arrival is 13:55. If this is correct, press 1. To change your entry, press 2. Or to hear the number you entered again, press 9. Thank you. Goodbye.
If required, a callout may be cancelled at any time after it has been initiated by clicking on the Cancel Callout button on the callout status screen. This will stop the callout and no further recipients will be contacted about the incident. Reviewing an historical callout. As we saw before, once you have logged into XpressCall and selected the callout option, you will be presented with the following screen. This time, clicking on the Review Incident button opens up a table of previously launched callouts. Information including the incident ID, description, and the date and time the incident was created is shown. In addition, the far right-hand column shows the status of the incident. Pending, incident created but not yet launched. Cancelled, incident created and/or launched but then cancelled. The details associated with a specific incident can be viewed by highlighting the required incident and double-clicking on it. Alternatively, highlight the required incident and click on the Monitor button. If the GPS LBS device tracking option has been purchased, it is possible to capture the relevant location information about the recipient at the time of contact. LBS services are limited to the UK, while GPS services are global. This means that you can now track the relevant devices in response to an SMS or voice message sent to the device. This means that you can obtain an accurate idea of where the device was when the message was sent. This snapshot data is stored for subsequent audit purposes. You can zoom in and out from the relevant map image to give a better indication of device location as shown here. This application of technology can help with keeping track of people or any mobile assets which the GPS LBS device is attached to. Thank you for taking the XpressCall product tour. To learn more about our offerings, please visit our homepage at www.criticall.co.uk. If you would like to have a live demonstration for you and your colleagues, email us at info@criticall.co.uk. For tours of our other offerings, please visit www.criticall.co.uk/tours.